Bueno, my dear, we're gonna read here. I'm gonna start recording here. Welcome, Tatiana. I think Brisa is, I think it's Tatiana, yes?
Yes, teacher. I don't know where I can change my name really.
I don't know either, but I think it's from the web page. I think so. Like here, like in Zoom. I think you should do it there. Bueno, then you enter all your things, and then I think, wait. Singing a memory by CTD. Yeah, no, allow. Maybe here where it's profile. Yeah, look. Editar, and then you change it there. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. No, anyway, now I'm going to take into account that Brisa is Tatiana. Don't worry. No, I'm not going to be confused.
Thank you, teacher.
Bueno, my dear people. So today here we're going to be working our class 5.2. It's our second class of the week, number 5. Well, let's start right away so you can go to your dates like as fast as we can. Now, here where I would like you to think, depending on the job that each of you have, right? Which are the qualities that you require for your job? For example, as a teacher, in my case, like thinking that I'm a teacher, I think that for this job you require serious, serious social skills. Social skills because you're talking to people all the time. You gotta be patient. You have to know how to talk to people. So you got to have social skills. Also, you have to have a lot of patience, yeah, and creativity. Probably that's one of the most important qualities that you require, creativity, right? And also you have to be very how do you say that? Let's say creative. Well, yes, creative. Of course, if you have creativity, you are creative, but you have to be very skillful for like for talking to people and for leading, for leading the students, right? Do you know what is the meaning of a skillful?
Habilidoso.
Habilidoso, that's it. Very good, excellent. So, sorry, I would say that those are the four different qualities that you require in your job. What about you? What are the qualities that you have or that someone requires at your job?
For me, I think like not being a shy person, like being outgoing and
Confident.
confident, yes. And also, the first rule of an actor is to be like a good listener,
Oh.
because acting is about know how to listen, listen
Mhm.
to instructions and listen to the partner without words. I don't know how to say that to explain.
Yeah,
And
like listening and not getting offended or anything like that.
what?
Like listening to the partner and yeah, following those instructions, right?
Yes. Um, but not only listen to words, like listen to the body. Like
Ah,
I
okay.
don't know. No, I
Understanding
don't
in
know how.
general, yeah.
Yes, I don't know how to explain that.
Like
And also,
reading your partner,
yes,
yes, like the
yes.
movement, the body language.
And not only your partner but like the people in general, to take things from them and
Mhm.
to put on your characters. And
Okay.
well, also like another characteristics uh, could be like being a how do I say that, atento,
Attentive,
pendiente, attentive,
attentive, yes.
attentive.
Mhm.
mm, and yes, that good memory
Hmm.
also.
That's important. Good memory, good. Uh-huh.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it.
Very good, Mama. Thanks a lot. So reading reading the other people, having like the ability to read the people, to understand people, attentiveness, and good memory. Good, that's it. Very good. Tati, Luisa, what do you think?
The qualities for my job, first you need love field work, because you have to spend a lot of time working into the forest and under weather conditions that
Oh,
are not the best. So really, usually you have to support no.
like stand. You need to stand them.
Yes, stand under warm, really warm places.
Mm.
So it's that's the first quality you need for be a
Okay,
geologist.
yeah.
If
So yeah,
you
if you're
work
a
in
geologist, you're kind of crazy. So that's what you need to love.
if you work in field work because another geologist work a lot of time in the office,
The lab. Uh-huh.
yes, but that's more boring.
Okay, yeah, good. So
Yes.
maybe what you need is a little bit of, how do you say, like adventurous spirit?
Yes, because you know a lot of, how do you say when someone is far away, like apart to places, I don't know.
Okay, like far away areas, no? Like,
Yes, too
yeah.
far. I have been in far away areas where only you hear animals, and that's really beautiful.
Good,
I
excellent. That's
like it.
great. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, being away from people is good for sometimes, no? It's like a rest of the mind. Okay, very good. Perfect. Excellent. Anything else, like for example, something like good memory, like maybe to not fear to the environment, no? Like I
You
would say,
you you need work good with your partners. Uh,
teamwork.
yes, you need to, because usually you have to communicate along the day and coordinate places to meet
Yeah.
after the work, and you need you need to be good with communicate skills. You need good
Communicative skills. Communicative
communicative. Yes,
skills.
yes.
Good, very good. Communicative skills. Okay, Tati, that's it. Very good. Thanks a lot. Bueno, my dear Luisa, what do you think about it?
So, teacher, I don't know. I want to talk about my profession. Is better.
Yeah.
So you need to maybe pay attention to details. Details,
What
yes.
is your profession? I forgot it, sorry.
Economics and
An
accountant.
economist. Yeah.
Yes, and you need to love the numbers. um, um, or organize, because when you need to maybe organize some bookkeepings, it's important.
Okay.
So how more? I don't know. Uh, uh, and confidence, because when you have information about the statements of the company, so it's important you, I don't know. Yes, but you got it.
I got it. I mean, like you have to be very confidential information.
Yes, sometimes that happens. So
Okay, very good. You gotta have reliability. Reliability, like trust, like the people can trust you, know? So you have to have reliability. Bueno, very good, excellent. So basically here you mentioned a lot of different skills that the people should have. Some of them are adjectives, like for example, creative, attentive, patient, reliable, confident, right? Other ones are things that the people have, like for example, good memory, social skills, attention to details, teamwork, you know. So, and other things are simply actions that we have to do. Love the field work, love the numbers, you know, what else? Have time for or have skills for social people or for social interaction. That was the thing, ready? So here we can express our abilities or our qualities in different ways, as so much that we're going to have an easy activity over here in which we have the same word in the two different ways, as a noun like sustantivo, and as an adjective. Adjective, of course. The noun, remember that is the concept of the thing. And the adjective, of course, is the characteristic, right? For example, the first one is curiosity. Curiosidad, of course, is the noun. And curious, of course, is the adjective. Ready? How can you analyze the word easier? If it's a noun, usually it works with the verb to have. And if it's an adjective, usually works with the verb to be. Ready? So let's try to complete. They are going to give you one, or the noun or the adjective, and you have to give me the other. Okay, if it's missing the adjective or if it's missing the noun. Ready? So decisiveness. What do you think is the adjective corresponding? Oh my God.
Decisive.
Very good, decisive, no? So decisiveness, decisividad, what we call, and decisive, which is decisivo, no? The characteristic of the person, right? Decisive. Muy bien. Determine, it's the adjective. So what do you think is the noun?
No idea.
When I
Determine,
say, sorry?
Oh.
determine,
Almost. Determine is
Determination.
determination. Very
Ah.
good. Determination. Right? Muy bien. Next, discipline. If somebody is disciplined, it's because the person has a lot of
Discipline.
a lot of discipline, right? A lot of discipline. Very good. Excellent, right? Innovation. If a person has a lot of innovation in their head, it's because the person is very
Innovated.
innovative. Very good. Innovative or innovative sometimes. Muy bien. Very good. Next one. Ush, this one is difficult. If it's a person that that has a lot of knowledge in the head, that knows a lot about something, is a person that is very what?
Acknowledge. No.
Acknowledge is reconocer, is the action. This one,
Oh.
it's similar. It's knowledgeable. It's very long word. Knowledgeable. And it means like an expert. It's a person that has a lot of knowledge about something. Ready? For example, I suppose that Tatiana is very knowledgeable about minerals, rocks, the soil, the ground, all of that, because that's her field, right? Luisa is very knowledgeable about numbers, taxes, I don't know, environmental, no, business management, and so on, right? Maho, of course, is very knowledgeable about body language, about facial expressions, about different things, no? So when we talk about knowledgeable, it's a person that is expert on something. Ready? Bueno, if it's a person that is motivated, it's because she or he has a lot of
Motivation.
motivation. Easy, very good. Motivation. If it's a person that is very original, it's because has a lot of what do you think?
originality.
Originality, very good, excellent. Yes, originality. Sorry. Ready? Muy bien, originalidad, excellent. If it's a person that is passionate about something, it's because a person that has
Patience.
passion, very good. Passion, muy bien. If it's a person that has patience, like the teachers, is a person that is very what? Sorry?
Patience.
Patient, very good. Ready? With T at the end, it's the characteristic. The CE, it's the noun, you know, like the thing that we have, patience. And patient is the person that has a lot of patience, right? Very good. Perceptive. What is the meaning of I mean, no, what is the meaning of no? If it's a person that is very perceptive, it's because it's a person that has a very wide
Perception.
perception, right? Of course. Perception, right? And if it's a person that is resourceful, is because it's a person that has, this one is also long.
Resources. Resource.
Almost. Resourcefulness. Resourcefulness. It means recursividad, right? So, well, as you can see, we have the same word in different ways, and actually they are very similar, right? But you have to be very careful if we are using the noun form, the adjective form, or the verb. Because of course here, some of these words, a part of these two ways, they have another one, no? For example, determine is the verb. Yeah, then we have the noun, which is determination, and then the adjective, which is determine. Decide is the action, and then the noun, and then the adjective, right? Know, for example, is the action, yes? Motivate, yes? Innovate. So some of these words have not only two, but three different forms of the same word. The verb, of course, is the action. When we do that, yes, the noun is the name of the concept, and the adjective is the characteristic when a person or an animal or something has that characteristic. Ready? So far, how do you feel? Good? Questions, problems over there?
Teacher, is there a list where we can have like this kind of things, like the nouns and the adjectives?
Well, I don't think there is like a complete list because there are different words. I mean, some words have two forms, other ones have three. But maybe you can complete it. Maybe we can look for that. And wait a second if we can find something similar. Okay. Wait. Maybe. Nah, let's see it. If we say, oh well, yeah, maybe there are some of them, like, adverb, adjective, noun, verb, yeah. So maybe you can find that adverb, adjective, noun list, and especially in images, I suppose that are going to appear in the list. Yes, exactly, like this, right? But
Okay.
every list that you find, Majo, it's going to be incomplete because for having everything in a single list, pretty difficult. So I would say that every list that you find, it's probably incomplete, right? So what I would recommend is to try to use or try to find the words that you use the most and try to find the different words that the different forms of that word, like in a list, and then probably creating your own list, no? For example, I checked that list and I said, okay, from this one, I am going to take act, activeness, active and actively, and that's it. And admire, admiration, admirable, that's it. And then I find another list with other more words more important, and then I use it to create my own list. Okay, Maho, that's one good exercise.
Okay, teacher.
Perfect, that's it. Well, so when we're talking about these things, these kind of characteristics, right? So these kind of qualities, we're going to have the way to express it, right? So we could say, for example, that someone who wants to be a geologist. Yes, someone who wants to be a geologist should love the field, the field work, because it's most of what they do, so that's the recommendation that Tatiana gave us, that they should love the field work, right? So in here, I am including the characteristic with one verb, someone who wants to be a geologist, right? But I can say, for example, sorry. So I can say the same idea, saying like, for example, someone who is motivated to be a geologist. The same should, I don't know, should know about chemistry. Well, I am not pretty sure. I'm just guessing. No, I have one close friend, which is geologist, but he's in Australia, so I more or less know something about it. But anyway, so I think that someone who is motivated to be a geologist should know a little bit about chemistry, right? I think so, right? But in that case, the introduction is not with another verb; it's with the verb to be. Yes. Or perfectly, I could have the same idea with another option that is with the verb to have, saying, for example, that someone who has desires to be a geologist, lo mismo, right? You know, geologist, the same, should love the field work or not have to know about chemistry or whatever. In that case, I introduce the same way, but with a noun that is desired. So as is with a noun, we include with the verb to have, right? Normally, in other classes, we saw how can we use these relative pronouns in order to complement the idea. Ready? But today, we're going to see that sometimes it's possible to reduce those clauses depending if we have an adjective, if we have a noun, or if we have a verb. Ready? So depending on that, I am going to have the possibility to reduce that sentence for making it sound more natural and faster. Ready? Of course, it's not an obligation. It's only simply like an option in order to make the sentence sound shorter and more natural. Ready? Now, how are we going to do this to reduce the sentences? Easy. Look at this. Depending if I am having a verb to be sentence or a other verb or a verb to have, I am going to reduce the sentences in a different way. Let's see if I can do it over here. Wait a second. Over here. No, mentiras. Wait. In a place where you can see it. Okay, I think it's right here. So, for example, here in the example of the verb to be, what I can say instead of saying someone who is motivated to be a geologist, I can say only someone motivated to be a geologist, right? In order to make it sound faster. I understand it's implicit that here we have a relative clause, which is including who is, and why I know because that is with is, because this is an adjective. So remember that when we go with an adjective, the verb that is before usually is the verb to be. So it's implicit that the verb to be is there along with the relative pronoun. Okay, so I know that it's going to be implicit there. If it's with the verb to have, what I'm going to do is something similar, but instead of just leaving like that, I'm going to omit the relative clause and change it for the preposition with. So instead of saying someone who has desires, I'm going to say someone with desires to be a geologist should know about ta. That's the one when we have a noun, o sea, with the verb to have. Ready? So instead of saying someone who has, I'm going to say simply someone with desires to be a geologist, ta. Ready? And finally, we're going to have the ones when we have other different verbs. In that case, it's super simple. The only thing that I have to do is to omit only the relative pronoun and change this verb into the gerund form. So instead of saying someone who wants to be a geologist, I'm saying someone wanting to be a geologist should love, field work, right? Teacher, what is the purpose of that? What is it for? It's simply for making the sentences shorter. Ready? It's like an easy way to reduce the number of words that we have to use for expressing the same idea. Ready? And independently, if you're using it an adjective, a noun, or a verb, you can do it. You can do it with the verb to be, you can do it with the verb to have, or you can do it with other verbs. Okay? So in that case, when I have, wait a second. Yeah. So in that case, when we have sentences like, wait, here. Ahora sí. So, for example, number one, Majo, could you please help me to read number one and how is it at the end?
What teacher?
Could you please read the blue one? Read the blue one.
Okay. People who is categorized as creative should be able to find solutions for everything.
Then reduce would be
People.
yes.
Ah,
So omitting this part, people
Categorized as
categorized.
creative should be able to find solutions for everything.
Sorry for the motorcycle. Good. So exactly. So in that case, for example, instead of saying people who is categorized as as creative, I just said people to categorize. I continue with the characteristic, with the adjective, right? So in that case,
Okay.
what I do is omitting the relative pronoun with the verb to be. It's a short change.
I thought that I had to put another word in there.
I know it's actually removing that word. It's reducing the clause, right?
I'm sorry,
Muy
it was
bien. No worries. Luisa, my dear, could you please read number 2? Yes, read one, number 2.
Kids who have innate talents must be encouraged. Kids with innate talents must be encouraged.
Exactly. So simply, what we have to do is to omit the relative pronoun, the verb to have, and change it with the preposition with, when it's with have. Easy. And the last one, Tati, will you please read it?
People who work on routinary jobs need an escape from them. People working on routinary jobs need an escape from them.
Exactly. So in the last part, when we want to reduce something like this, well, simply we just have to omit the relative pronoun and changing the verb into the gerund form. People working on routinary jobs instead of saying people who work on routinary jobs, right? How do you feel? Easy. It's super easy. It's no problem. Just questions, something not clear.
It's clear, teacher.
Yes, no problem. Maho, Lou, all fine? Good.
Yes, teacher.
It's super simple, right? Well, I would like you to think in a recommendation for someone who wants to study or who wants to have your same profession. At the beginning, you tell me what are the qualities that are necessary um, for your job, you know. I would like you to think in a recommendation like this one. For example, as I said before, uh, someone, someone very creative could be a good teacher, right? Of course, there I already reduced it. No, I said instead of saying someone who is very creative, no, I omitted and I said just someone very creative could be a good teacher, reducing the sentence, right? Or I would say also, for example, with a person with lots of patience could work with kids. No problem. Could work with kids. But if you are somebody without patience, sorry, you shouldn't work with kids, right? Muy bien. Very good. Excellent. That's it. So those are the recommendations that I can give to a person who might be or might want to be a teacher. What about you? Think for a second on a recommendation for someone who be an actress or someone who be a geologist or someone who be an economist, right? Think what might be the recommendation.
Teacher, for example, a person loving the numbers should be a good accountant.
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 Very good, excellent. So someone loving the numbers instead of saying someone who loves the numbers, but no, just someone loving the numbers should be a good accountant. Perfect. That's it. Anybody else? Maybe.
A person with confidence could be an actor.
Perfect. A person with confidence might be a good actor. Excellent. That's it. And Tati, what do you think?
Someone liking, someone likes someone who likes dinosaurs could
Dinosaurs.
be a geologist.
Okay, very good. Well, if you said someone who likes it, so it's the complete and the short, yes, someone liking the or enjoying someone enjoying the dinosaurs could be a good geologist, right?
But
Yeah.
liking is good.
Yeah,
It's
it's
okay.
good. It's not pretty common, but it's good. I mean, according to the grammar, it's correct. It's not something that the people usually said was using that verb there. It's not very common, but it's possible to use it, right? I mean, it's not incorrect. Okay. Bueno, muy bien. Very good. Excellent. So here it's another way to simply organize our ideas. Not everything has to be so formal. We also have to learn how can we make it more casual and more relaxed our context. And this is one of the ways that we have to do it, that it's reducing parts, right? As you know, or as you have seen in movies and in series and in talking to other people, there are many different parts that they reduce, no? So equally as in Spanish, when we reduce it like pa qué, instead of saying para qué, that's the same. The same happens when in English. Ready? We're going to see that better in other class, but this is basically like an introduction to those reductions. Ready? Parts of the sentence that grammatically are necessary, but pragmatically are not necessary. It means that they don't make any difference in the sentence, right? If I take it out or if I let it there, it's not going to make any difference. Of course, informality is different. Taking a part out of the sentence is informal, but on the meaning, it's not going to change it at all. So there are some sentences that I can reduce, similar to what we saw in the week number 3, when we said that, for example, after taking a shower, I go to the using the gerund instead of saying after I take a shower, I make those kind of reductions in order to make the language faster, ready? Which is what we want. Okay. Questions over there? Oh, it's all good.
All good.
Okay, great. Bueno, our second and final part, which is super short, it's going to introduce a final relative pronoun that we have. Ready? We know that we can use who, what, when, where, blah, 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 but we can also use another one. Yes? It's which. Which is probably the most common one, the most flexible one also, because it's going to allow all different kinds of uses that relative pronoun. Ready? It's a sentence modifier, right? Because when we include which, not only is for objects, for talking like about like say a computer is an object which is for working, no? That it's the most common one, but it's also introducing other different kinds of uses. Ready? After using which of course is cual, but it can also work like el cual, por lo cual, whatever. So it's going to be used also for introducing explanations, ready? Reasons, suggestions, or results, ready? Also talking about causes and consequences of different things, right? For example, we can have a sentence and we can explain that first sentence using which means, no? For example, Tati, where do you live? Do you live in Bogota? Where do you live?
Yes, in Bogota.
In Bogota. So, okay. Bueno, so almost Bogota. Ah,
Yes, I know.
okay, so for example, we said that yes, Tati lives in Suba. As she is a geologist, I would say that which means, so I'm going to introduce something that it's caused or that is explained by the fact that she lives in Suba, right? So I'm saying that Tati lives in Suba, which means she has to travel a lot for her job. I mean, it's a supposition, but I suppose, right? Like, because normally the geologists work on the field on different parts in the rural area. So usually I would say that she has to travel a lot to get to the field trips, right? So I would say that explaining or using which means, no, like, okay, so this sentence produces or it's the explanation, the racial explanation of this fact, right? Or basically, it's a synonym when I say which is why. Yes, por lo cual, ta, 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 right? Or, for example, Majo. Majo is from Santa Marta, right? So, Majo is from Santa Marta. Yes, which is why she travels back every Christmas. Well, I don't know if it's true, but I'm saying that if the people ask, but why Maria Jose always travels to Santa Marta? She should go to San Andres or Islas del Rosario. No, but Majo is from Santa Marta, which is why she travels back every Christmas, right? So it's also introducing explanation, right? And in the same way, I can describe or I can use other expressions like which results, lo que resulta en, so talking about cause and consequence, which suggest, lo que sugiere que, so talking about like kind of explanations, kind of suggestions, right? For example, Luisa, are you living with your boyfriend in Canada or alone?
With my husband.
Oh, sorry, with your husband, that's it. Bueno, let's suppose that is your boyfriend. So I'm saying like, okay, so Luisa is living with her boyfriend in Canada, which suggests that it's a very serious relationship. It's not confirmed, but it's like an evidence of that. So when I say which suggests, it's like which shows that, right? So it's like an evidence of that, which is going to be very, very polyfunctional because it's going to permit me to introduce all different kinds of sentences, all different kinds
Here,
of modifications. Question?
suggest is like a supposition.
Yeah, kind of. When I say like, it's that suggests that other thing happens, but it's not completely clear, no? So when I say which suggests, it's like a detective, no? When saying like, Maria Jose is feeling nervous, which suggests that she is suspect of the crime, something like that, no? It's like an evidence of something. Okay, ready?
Okay,
How do you feel with these expressions? Which is why, which means, good, confusing, no? Más o menos, more or less.
good.
Good, great. When we have the green ones, it's going to be like an impersonal sentence. So which means, and then we go directly to the sentence, which means that that happens, which is why that happens, blah, blah, blah. When we have other ones, like talking about these orange ones, they are related to feelings, right? For that reason, these sentences are not impersonal. They have or they are over, they go over an object. So usually when we have these verbs, motivates, causes, encourages, which are talking about feelings, they are accompanied with an object. For example, which motivates me, which motivates her, which motivates them, which motivates us, ready? And in the same way with the other three, right? With the other two, sorry, which causes me, which causes her, which causes us, right? For example, no sé, let's say the politicians are very are like really liars, which causes us a lot of frustration, for example, no? So not only to me, but which causes us, because it's to all of us, right? Encourages, motivates, disencourage, you know? So we have different verbs which can be caused, or different actions that can be caused by another action. And especially when they talk about emotions, then it's going to be accompanied with other different object after the sentence, right? Which motivates me because blah, 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 which causes me to blah, 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 right? So, for example, I don't know, let's say they learn speaking English. Speaking English fluently is quite difficult. Yeah, speaking English fluently is quite difficult because, of course, it requires a lot of practice. But you three succeeded. You can say that you can speak English fluently. Maybe that is not the best grammar. Maybe that you have made mistakes. Yes, everybody has mistakes. Don't worry. But you three can speak English fluently. So I would like you to tell me, how do you feel because of that? Speaking English is fluent. Speaking English fluently is quite difficult, which causes me to feel proud, for example. which makes me be a better teacher, for example, right? So, no sé, in your cases, what do you think, what do you feel because you are able to speak English fluently and it is difficult. So how do you feel about it?
Which motivates me to practice a lot of practice more.
Exactly, very good. Well, in this case, it's necessary to include the first part, no? So if speaking English fluently is quite difficult, which motivates me to practice even more. Of course, that's the idea. Good, excellent. Uh-huh. Muy bien. Anything else? Majo, Luke, what do you think? Do you feel in a specific way or nah, no, nothing?
Speaking English fluently is quite difficult, which causes me frustration.
Okay, very good. Could be. I mean, it shouldn't be because you speak English fluently, don't worry. But okay, I understand, no, at the beginning, I suppose that it causes frustration, no? So of course. No? Muy bien, very good. Look,
I don't know, teacher. Speaking English fluently is quite difficult. Uh, results, yes, results.
which results?
Which results? Oh my God. I don't know. Difficult to speak in my job.
Okay, for example, you said like which results on difficulties for speaking in my job, or which results on me nervous at job at work, no? So me feeling nervous at work. Hmm?
Now, no, but before, yeah.
Oh my God. Well, so if you're not feeling nervous now, it's because you speak better now. So that's phew, relieving for me. Good. Muy bien, excellent, very good. Ready? So the idea of which is that it can, well, it's necessary the first part, always to mention the first part, no? So because it's the part that is going to be the entrance to the other sentence. So that's why it's necessary to repeat always the first part. But it's very multifunctional. You can do many different things using which, right? Explain, talk about cause and consequence, speaking about suppositions, premonitions, so on, so on. So, well, that's the idea. Ready? So, questions about it, difficulties is another connector more. I know that I have been showing you many different connectors, but it's simply another connector more that introduces different kinds of sentences, but it's just the same use. Questions, difficulties, look.
Teacher, I had to use always which when means results, subjects, or yes?
Yeah, well, usually when we're going to include like lo que significa que, then it's the expression which means, which results, which is why, por lo cual, o lo que sugiere que, o lo que me causa ta, ta, ta. Entonces es como enlazar esa acción que lo que vas a decir después con la acción anterior. Entonces me causa frustración que, es que porque hablar inglés es difícil, por lo cual, entonces es como unir esas dos oraciones, pero digamos en todas esas ocasiones por lo cual sugiere, lo cual causa, lo cual me motiva, todo eso, con eso es con which.
Okay, teacher.
Ready? Yes, no problem. Listo, my dear people. So, questions, Majo, problems, no? All fine.
All fine, teacher.
All good. Great. Bueno, we are in the week number 5, in the week number 6. I don't remember what is the exact exercise on the week number 6. Now, I'm going to check, and the next week I tell you what is the checkpoint of the week number 6, so you can understand better how to do it, okay? But I'm going to check because I don't remember exactly what it is. Okay?
Thank you, teacher.
Bueno, so have a good weekend. I'm so sorry for having class on Friday, but it was the only day left. So I'm so sorry. It's not going to happen ever again, as far as I hope. So that's it. Have a good weekend, enjoy, and see you the next week, okay? We only have one class the next week, so see you there.
Thank you, teacher.
Have a good
Bye.
week.
Bye.
See you soon.
teacher, I forgot all this when I tried to speak with another person here.
It's
Yes,
true, yes, of
and the
course.
grammatical. When I speak after start, oh my God, I see the very wrong. Oh my God.
But you
Oh.
have to, but that is only physically fear. Don't worry, because I mean, you have the words, the basic words are in your head. But when you start freaking out, then you freeze, and the brain says like, "Goodbye, I am not here," and then you start freeze. Yes. So try to be relaxed. Have in mind that you have a very good English, and everybody, even the Canadians, even the Americans, even the everybody make mistakes, and you don't make many mistakes. So having to account that if you make one mistake or two, it's not going to be a problem. So they don't take into account that as far as they understand, you are speaking clearly. So don't worry about it. If you don't use the which every time, no problem. There are going to be sometimes what you understand to use it, but just be calm, relax.
I see, it's terrible. But now some partners say me, oh, we can speak more. Yo, oh, thank you.